Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Trisha and I create content around art, being a self-learning artist. I'm going to be taking a few days off and traveling out of the town that I stay in to visit my family in another city in India. And I thought I'll just share how I'm going to be packing my art travel kit for these 5 to 7 days that I'm traveling, and everything is going to be fitted into this little kit, including the paper and all sketching as well as painting art supplies. So first up, the paper or the sketchbook that I can carry in this little travel kit. Now the size that I can carry is going to be smaller than a A5 because this is a much bigger size for a sketchbook as compared to the travel kit. And neither can I take a square sketchbook. So what we are left with as options are all the A6 sketchbooks. You'll remember this little hand-stitched sketchbook, which was my first attempt at putting a sketchbook together using drawing paper. I'm using this more for quick swatches during painting sessions. This is one of my favorite papers, but the thing is, after some time the papers do detach from the block, and it's not a very convenient thing to take on travel, so I'm having to put these into little frames like this or just store them away. So this is not going to come with me. So I'm really left with two options. One is the Hannibal Told sketchbook for some sketching and painting with watercolors. I'm just thinking whether for this trip I switch it up and probably take my hand-stitched watercolor book with me instead. And this is a portrait orientation, so I just find it a little bit more easier if I have to draw on site, and probably even start using this a little bit more. So I'm thinking I'm going to take this instead. Now I also want to carry with me some dry medium like color pencils and semi-dry medium like Neocolor II, for which I won't be using the watercolor 100% cotton paper. And I don't have any A5 sketchbook till now, which is hot pressed paper and on which I love to do Neocolor II, or could equally work well for colored pencils. And that's why a few months back I had ordered this A6 Etchr sketchbook, which is a portrait orientation, and I haven't opened it, but I think it's the perfect time to just open this up and take this along as the second sketchbook for my dry and semi-dry medium. There's a good deal on in Amazon India for this, and this is great because it's a 220 GSM, just like the Hannibal Told sketchbook, so I know the quality will be good. It's got 52 pages and it's good for mixed media, and it's 100% cotton. Not sure if it's going to be an overkill for color pencils, but I think this is definitely going to be great for Neocolor II. Let's just open this. So it's got this really cute artwork here, which is in collaboration with Urban Lian. I had chosen a white cover, but it does make you feel a little scared in terms of smudging it with other colors or discoloring it. I think this was the only color available actually online, if I'm not mistaken. See, this is quite thick in terms of the paper weight. Yes, it will be easy to hold this and sketch. Looks like really good quality, but I'll get to know only once I start using it. I think this is a great option to travel with, and I have to just mentally prepare myself that this white is not going to remain white for very long. So that's my little sketchbook, which is going to be the hot pressed paper, and I'm sorted now for the two A6 sketchbooks that will go into my little travel kit. Now on to the sketching and drawing and painting tools. So for sketching and drawing tools, I'll be using this section of the pouch, and I'm planning to carry all my Caran d'Ache Luminance color pencils, which I've been using of late and really enjoying, along with the 3 Museum Aquarelle. And I'm just taking one graphite pencil along with me, and this is a monolith from Watercolour, and it's a 2B. And for pens, I plan to take these 3. One is the brush pen, which I love and I've been using with color pencils. And this is a sepia toned or brown toned ink, along with the brown micron tip pen from Uniball. And I'll also take a black micron tip pen from Pigma. I'm also going to throw in the Uniposca white marker, which I use for mixed media, along with these drawing and sketching tools. I'm going to just rearrange this and keep this one slot free for 2 watercolor brushes. Both are round. This is a petal brush and this is a mop quill. And we now move into the wet medium preparation. So the brushes are already in. The watercolor paper is already here, which is the handmade sketchbook with 100% cotton paper, watercolor paper inside. And now we are left with the paints. So first the semi-dry or semi-wet medium. So I'm going to be carrying the dark and the lush limited sets of Neocolor II. And I'm going to be using this on the Etchr sketchbook. So I'm just going to pop it right in there. How much space does this have left? Not much. So we're almost coming to the end of packing the supplies. Now coming to watercolor paints. The last time I had traveled, I had taken this metal palette, and this is really my comfort palette in terms of the colors that I love. But since I'm going to be traveling with just this little kit this time, and I don't want to try and stuff this into this bag, I'm going to take some limited colors into this smaller palette, which I currently have the camel watercolors in, and I don't use too much. So I'm now going to come back in the video after I've set up this little palette with the colors that I bought from this larger set. And there will be some full pans like you're going to see, which are my granulating watercolors from White Nights, and I'll see you in a bit. I'm going to be using some of these empty half pans that I have to fill in the colors. These are some of the colors that I'm going to be filling these little half pans width, and I'll take some out from here, which I have only one of each, which is the White Nights granulating paints. And I will see you in a bit after I've set this little palette up. So this is ready, my watercolor travel palette. So I'm going to just leave this, let it dry, and this will be ready. Now the only paraphernalia that are left are really some masking tape. Then I'm going to take an eraser, some sketchbook clips to hold the pages down, one in a medium size and I guess a couple in small size. And I'm going to take this Staedtler dual hole sharpener. This is thanks to a subscriber who had recommended it on one of my earlier videos. So thanks a lot for the recommendation. This is very useful. So I'm just going to be taking this along. And I'll just take an empty Ziploc bag to collect the shavings in. So I think I'll just pop this inside here, and I think that's it. I don't need anything else apart from a little piece of cloth to wipe off the wet brush when I'm using watercolors, and I don't think I can travel without this water bottle spray for wetting the paints in my watercolor palette. So now the true test of how much of this will go in. What I could also do is have this tin box here in the front zip pocket so that the paint is isolated from the sketchbooks, and I will just put these in. There are some pockets here too, which I can use to put the little items in, like the clips and this eraser. The sharpener can go in, and did I forget anything? I think not. So I'm going to zip this up. Close this side of the pouch, and the only thing left to do is pop the watercolor palette in there and hope it doesn't burst at its seams. I think it's totally fine. And there we have it. Everything that I need for sketching, painting with for the next 7 to 8 days is in here. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, happy painting.